very soon. Anyway, still on Davido Big Lala. Davido just joined. We saw a video some days ago. Davido just joined the Grammy committee. And Big Lala,
Mm.
Davido joining the Grammy committee via a video some days ago has got people talking. He's been nominated a couple of times without any win. Of course, unfortunate, with that one, of course, because the project have been dope as well. But right now, people are saying just maybe joining the voting committee gives him an edge when the nominations and eventual selection for winning gets underway. Big Lala, November 7 is the date for nomination for the Grammys 2026.
Mm.
What are your thoughts on Davido joining the voting committee of the Grammys?
Firstly, is did Davido post this on his page?
Yes, he posted a video on the story.
Be honest, when I saw that video, the first thing that came to my head, guess what?
Mm.
It's AI.
Oh no, it's not AI.
Because the way the whole thing looked like, it didn't look genuine to me.
Mm.
It didn't look genuine to me. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was AI. But now that you've confirmed that it is indeed Davido,
It's a video.
I do not know what the end game for this is, and I don't know if it is allowed to actually vote for yourself. Fine, you join the committee.
Mm-hmm.
That means you take part in the internal processes of choosing or voting for songs in certain categories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's good. Did he join it for himself?
Well, I don't think he joins him. I mean, there are artists who are part of the Grammy voting,
Yeah, I know Niniola was.
committee and everything.
Who was there
Even
again?
journalists as well. So
Yeah.
it's a combination of artists, journalists, and the likes,
Mm.
basically. So I think this time around, maybe an invitation was extended to him, and he said, why not? I'll just join and vote. But he may not be able to vote for his own
Record.
category,
Is
or
this?
or maybe an African category. He may not be able to vote for an African category. It just
Yeah.
be, part of the wider nominations and everything, which means he
Yeah.
would have to do a couple of more research and everything like that before
Mhm.
casting his vote. Well, first off, for Davido as an artist, is it a good thing? Is it a good development?
Well, I think if he was playing it as a music exec, right? I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I think we've been getting people inducted recently, and maybe they're just going round and round and round
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that people are part of the process. Like I said, I know Niniola was part of that some while back.
Mm-hmm.
I know Cobams as well as musicians who were part of that.
Yeah.
I know even Belashmoda is making some
Moves.
moves into that into that regard,
Terrain, yeah.
to that terrain, yeah. And I think for this year, 2026, the two people who we've seen so far is Davido and I think Oxlade. Those are the two people that we've seen
Mm-hmm.
who have been part of it. Is it a good thing for them? I think they're just playing their parts. There's a lot of secrecy that's behind Grammy or what it takes to win a Grammy. And if Grammy is opening up, and they've started opening up to Africa as a whole, there's now Afrobeats or categories are now there, now representing Africa. But you cannot rely on the previous, the guys who were voting in other categories to decide
Yeah.
for Afrobeats. So it of course is a wise move for Grammy to have people who are Afrobeat oriented,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to decide these slots. Now comes the ethical part of it. Should Davido, who would most likely be nominated or who's trying to win his first Grammy, should he now be part of such decision making or have that power to vote, and would he be able to vote himself? Those are the questions that need to be answered, really. So, is it good for Davido to be part of this? Yes, it's good for him to be part of this. How does that how does how does it look for Grammy to have somebody who is then nominated to be part of, the Grammy voting process? I don't know what it is. Like I said, there's a lot of secrecy when it comes to Grammy, which is generally their problem, really. Yeah.
Anyways, talking about Davido's chances for winning the Grammys vis-a-vis joining the voting committee as a voting member, joining the committee probably gives an idea of the things
What it
to
takes,
do,
right?
what it takes, what you need to do to submit a Grammy worthy material, the steps you need to do, and all of those things. Now, let's even leave out 2026, the next one.
Yeah.
Let's talk about 2027 and subsequent ones. Do you think this, induction into the Grammy voting committee gives Davido an edge for knowing what to do to be able to win, more Grammys, or do you think it's inconsequential? It doesn't really matter.
Him joining, yes, it gives him more insights,
Yeah,
which is important.
yeah,
It gives him an insight, which is important. Does it give him an edge? I don't necessarily think so. Um, because I don't want to say it like I know it, because we know there's a lot of lobbying that goes on behind the
behind the
scenes
scenes.
for Grammy.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
it's for him to just see exactly why was it so hard for me to win something at the
Mm.
Grammys, so that I will know that okay, this is what I have to do
What to do next?
to be able to win some. For a fact finding mission, I think it's a good thing for Davido to go and look at it for himself. But I don't think what he's going to do there by himself, he couldn't have found out
By
I mean,
being outside, right?
from other people. The way people like Burna Boy found out from Angelique Kidjo, right? Other artists would have found out from people like
From
that.
people like that,
That being
right?
said, it doesn't mean you have to find out from Angelique Kidjo before you win.
Mm.
Thames didn't find out Shishi from Mama
Anybody?
before she won, right? So
Right.
it happens. Things like that happen.
Mm.
Again, yeah, it does. Does he have an advantage? I would say slightly. I don't think it's much, because wherever he finds
Right.
out, he could have found out any other way.
Yeah. Anyways, we wish David all the very best. For as a member of the Grammy voting committee, of course, as a member of
What? How do you even think it's going to work? Make I hear your
Um,
own thought
so basically, I think how it's going to work is he may not be allowed to vote for a
himself.
category that affects him or his works and everything, and
Yeah.
maybe his colleagues in Africa as well. So no, my friend Bidi, let me vote for him. So it's probably going to be categories that have to do with the international. Same way, maybe the guys from the West also will have to be the one to vote for the guys in Africa,
Okay.
just so as to remove any sort of bias. But yes, he's going to be able to vote for a couple of these categories, but I do not think he'll be able to vote in all of the categories. They're going to have to reduce it to, just some selected ones to avoid any element of bias or any element of favoritism or anything like that.
They do
But
that already now,
yeah,
don't they?
I
The
think it's a
Grammy.
good thing. I think it's a good thing for
Yeah.
Davido. Like you said, what you mentioned earlier is it gives him an insight, or it
Mm.
may give him an insight on how these things really, really work.
Yeah.
A little bit of, expo here and there, being a part of this thing and all of that. And he could use that as a strategy in submitting for the, subsequent
Next one.
Grammy Awards and everything like that. Anyways, Big Lala, as we go,